When I was a kid, baseball glowed. The players we looked up to, they stood for hard work, determination. They were respectful to the public. People like Mickey Mantle, Rocky Colavito, names that most people have forgotten. The great Bob Gibson, Juan Marshall. I mean, they were our heroes. They didn't make whopping salaries. People forget that one year Mickey Mantle won the Most Valuable Player Award for most runs batted in, homers, and etc. The next year he didn't win it. He got a pay cut. But he didn't object. He said, I didn't do it 2 years in a row. Today, that'd be a huge fiasco. Fast forward 50 years when I was a kid in the 50s, and baseball has changed drastically. It's become big corporate business. The players ride to the ballpark in limos. They make enough money to buy the stock market. Often they're very, very arrogant. Barry Bonds being a good example of the arrogant baseball player who has so much money. And they don't even have to work that hard to be athletes today because they're pumped up on steroids, so many of them, and on drugs and supplements. Which brings me to the home run chase that Barry Bonds is working on right now against Hank Aaron. And to me, it's basically a sham compared to people like Hank Aaron. And then I want to talk about Hank Aaron now. Hank Aaron was one of my heroes as a child. My dad was a St. Louis Cardinals fan, and one year we drove from Peoria, Illinois down to St. Louis to see the Cardinals play, and that day they were playing the Milwaukee Braves. And it was the pregame batting practice that really made me a fan of Hank Aaron. Watching Hank Aaron and Eddie Matthews hit baseballs just in warm-up, every pitch went over the fence. I was just in awe. I'd never seen anybody hit a baseball like that. And that was before the baseball had become energized. The baseball was a regular baseball. Today it's got energy in it and it flies off the bat quicker. And from that day on, I walked to the ballpark going, wow, I couldn't believe it. Eddie Matthews finally slowed down, but Hank, as we know, just kept blasting him out of the ballparks. A man who worked his way up, played for the Indianapolis Clowns of the Negro American League, and got discovered by the Milwaukee Braves. And there was a chance he never would have played, but someone got hurt and Hank got in the lineup. From that day on, he never stopped. I mean, just year after year, homers and high batting average. And the amazing thing about Hank Aaron was he did everything with his wrist. It just the snap of the wrist and the ball would fly over, and that's what he's known for. And he attributed to that to as a kid he worked in lifting ice and flipping it with his wrist, and he had these powerful wrists. And they said he was so laid back like he was asleep at the plate. I remember watching him as a kid. He'd just walk out real slow, and bang, the ball goes over the fence. And very, very humble, always talking about how God had blessed him and those kind of things. So you looked up to players like that. And the 1973, when he was chasing Babe Ruth's 714 total home run record, The Dark Side of America came out. He got all these racist letters, the N-word and all that. People said they were going to shoot him. Hank later said that changed his life. He didn't understand how people could be that mean and nasty. But he went on and did it. And the day that he broke the home run record, I remember I was watching television and the scoreboard was flashing 7:15. He crosses around. Teammates hug him, and he decided, thank God it's over. And at the end of the game, they won the game, and he actually made this statement. This shows you how humble the players were in those days. He said, the home run would have meant nothing if we hadn't won the game. And the unfortunate thing is, we just don't seem to have those people around anymore. And the really, really sad thing is that we just don't have a Hank Aaron in baseball anymore.